can be weak, but don't be powerless. Being weak is when you feel like giving up, but being powerless is when you don't even have the strength to think about giving up. We all have experienced some kind of pain in our lives. It could be physical pain or emotional pain, and when we experience pain, it seems that there is nothing more important than getting rid of it. Pain makes us do things that we never thought we would do. It forces us to make changes in our lives that we have been putting off for a long time. In this video, I will share with you 10 interesting quotes about pain. These quotes are not just inspiring, but also thought-provoking. So let's get started. Number 1, pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. This quote by author and spiritual teacher Harville Hendricks really resonates with me. There are many things that we cannot control, such as the death of a loved one, betrayal, or even the pain we endure from injuries. However, the way we choose to react to these situations is entirely up to us. We can either choose to suffer by dwelling on the negative, or we can choose to see the bigger picture and focus on the positive. For example, when my grandfather passed away, I was heartbroken. It was the first time I had ever experienced the death of someone close to me. I felt so much pain and sorrow that it was all I could think about for weeks. However, as time went on, I began to remember all of the good times I had spent with him and the lessons he had taught me during my life. Instead of focusing on the pain of his absence, I chose to focus on the love and memories we shared. This allowed me to move forward and heal from my grief. 2. Sometimes the pain we go through prepares us for the success we will have. This quote by author, speaker, and coach Robin Sharma really inspires me. Sometimes we have to go through tough times in order to become stronger and wiser. For example, when I was younger, I was very shy and introverted. However, after I experienced some rejection from others, I became more resilient and determined to succeed despite the obstacles I faced. The pain of rejection made me work harder and strive to become the best version of myself. It is important to remember that even though going through tough times can be painful, it can also be an opportunity for growth and success. We must learn to embrace challenges and use them as a stepping stone towards achieving our goals. Number 3, to have another chance to do something, to undo something, to do it better, is a luxury in life which most of us do not have. This quote by author and speaker Naval Ravikant really makes me appreciate the importance of doing my best in every situation. We often think that we have endless opportunities to make things right, but the truth is that we don't. When we mess up, we may not get a second chance to fix it. That's why it's important to take every opportunity we have to do our best and make the most of every situation. For example, when I was in school, I had the opportunity to join the debate team. However, I was nervous about trying out because I wasn't sure if I would make the team. But I knew that if I didn't try, I would always regret it. So I took a deep breath, went to the tryouts, and gave it my all. And guess what? I made the team, and I'm so glad that I took that chance. This experience taught me that we shouldn't take our opportunities for granted, and we should always do our best in every situation. Number 4, we cannot change the fact that our life is suffering, but we can change our attitude toward the fact of our suffering. This quote by Thich Nhat Hanh, a Vietnamese Buddhist monk, teacher, and peace activist, really reminds me that our attitude towards difficult situations can make all the difference. We can't always control the circumstances we find ourselves in, but we can control how we respond to them. For example, when I was younger, I struggled with shyness and social anxiety, but instead of seeing it as a disadvantage, I chose to view it as an opportunity for growth. I started to attend social events and put myself in situations where I could practice my social skills. Over time, I became more confident and comfortable around others. This experience taught me that no matter what difficulties we face in life, we can choose to have a positive attitude and turn the situation into a learning opportunity. Number 5, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. This quote by legendary martial arts master Bruce Lee perfectly illustrates the idea that we only seek help and guidance when we are truly ready to learn. Often we want to learn something new or improve our skills, but we don't put in the effort to find the right teacher or resources. We remain stuck in our own ignorance. For example, when I wanted to learn how to play the guitar, I searched online for tutorials and spent countless hours watching videos. I followed along with the tutorials and tried to learn chords and songs on my own, but I was struggling and becoming discouraged. That's when I decided to invest in guitar lessons with a professional instructor. With his guidance and feedback, I learned how to play much faster, and I gained a deeper understanding of music theory. I realized that trying to learn on my own without proper instruction was futile, and that seeking help from a qualified teacher was essential to my success. Number 6. The pain you have endured in your past is not yours to carry on your present or future. This quote by author and speaker Ianla van Zandt really resonates with me. We often hold on to the pain and trauma of our past, allowing it to consume us in the present. However, we must realize that our past does not define us, and we have the power to let go of any negative experiences that are holding us back. For example, when I was younger, I experienced bullying, and I carried the emotional scars of that trauma with me into adulthood. I became anxious and fearful in social situations, always expecting the worst from others. But with therapy and self-reflection, I was able to confront my past and release the pain I had been holding on to. By letting go of my past, I was able to move forward in my life with a lighter heart and a more positive outlook. Number 7. The purpose of human life is to serve, and he who feels he has been given much has a great deal to return. This quote by renowned philosopher and humanitarian Albert Schweitzer beautifully expresses the idea that we have a responsibility to give back to others. When we are blessed with abundance, whether it be material possessions, knowledge, or even emotional health, we have an obligation to share our blessings with those who are less fortunate. For example, when I was fortunate enough to receive a scholarship to pursue my education abroad, I knew that I had a responsibility to give back. Upon my return home, I started volunteering at local schools, sharing my experiences and knowledge with underprivileged students. By doing this, I felt a sense of fulfillment and gratitude, knowing that I was able to make a positive impact on the lives of others. Number 8. Not everything that is hard is an opportunity to grow, but every opportunity to grow is hard. This quote by American author and speaker Elizabeth Gilbert reminds us that the path to personal growth is not always easy. While challenges and setbacks can be painful and difficult, they present us with valuable opportunities to learn and evolve. For example, when I faced rejection in my career, it was incredibly disheartening, and I questioned my abilities. However, instead of letting the rejection define me, I chose to view it as an opportunity to grow. I reflected on the feedback I received and used it to improve my skills and knowledge. Through this process, I became more resilient and determined to succeed, ultimately leading me to greater success in my career. Number 9. The wound is the place where the light enters you. This quote by renowned poet and philosopher Rumi is a beautiful metaphor for the transformative power of pain. When we experience pain and suffering, it can often feel as though we are being broken. However, it is through these moments of vulnerability that we have the opportunity to heal and become whole. For example, when I experienced a significant loss in my life, I felt completely broken and lost. But with the support of my loved ones and through my own self-reflection, I was able to heal and find meaning in the experience. I emerged from the pain with a deeper appreciation for life and a stronger sense of resilience. Number 10. If you want to be strong, you have to do things that are hard. This quote by David Goggins, an ultra-marathon runner, ultra-long-distance cyclist and ultra-cyclist, is a powerful reminder that true strength is not found in comfort, but in facing and overcoming challenges. When we push ourselves beyond our limits, we discover a strength within ourselves that we never knew existed. For example, when I decided to join a gym and start weightlifting, it was incredibly challenging both physically and mentally. But as I continued to push myself and lift heavier weights, I noticed a significant increase in my strength and confidence. This experience taught me that true strength is not about avoiding pain or discomfort, but embracing it and using it to fuel our growth. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss out any video from us. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and share it with your friends. Also, let us know your favorite quote from the list in the comments below. Have a wonderful day.